What's happening, everybody? It's the Gadget Inspector of Pocket EDC. And we had to take a little bit of time to deal with an injury. I broke my knee and then had a workman's comp case. And due to litigation, I had to kind of stop. I started to do these videos and reviews and planned to do a lot more, and unfortunately I had to stop. Well, I'm back. I'm going to give it another shot. And with that, the Grafton pen is my first review. Stay tuned. Alright, what's happening, everybody? It's the Gadget Inspector, aka Terrell Griffin of Pocket EDC. One of the things I'd like to talk about today is I just got in my Grafton pen. Now, I waited and kept putting it off because there's a lot of really cool pens out there. So I couldn't make up my mind. Now, one of the things that really drove home was the fact that this was an original Kickstarter that was funded and then brought into production. You're now able to go to their website and pick them up. They've got them available all the time. They've added some new colors to it, so I mean you can get, there's like the brass, the gunmetal, the silver, the black. I don't know if I'm missing any, but all in all, it looked like a nice pen, and it was something that I really wanted to try out. Here we are with the Grafton. Really nice. Like I said, it's been out for a while. There's tons of reviews out there, and you may ask, well, why am I reviewing it? The reason is because, like I said, I was out to get the pencil, and I figured that I would go ahead and get the matching pen. Unfortunately for me, they didn't have the pencil in the gunmetal, so I had to pick a different color. I'll talk about that later. So now we have the Grafton pen here in gunmetal, as you can see. It's 100% aluminum. Like I said, their policy is kind of the buy for life. So under normal circumstances, they will replace or repair or do something to accommodate this pen. The beautiful thing comes in a nice little box here, solid box, tough. I mean, nothing to complain about. I mean, it holds up, it looks, I mean, most of the time you don't get really fancy boxes that I've seen from pens, and maybe I'm just not buying, like I said, I'm not in the Mont Blanc and some of those other high ends where they come in fancy satin or velvet lined cases with locks and all these different things. This is a pen that's going to go in my pocket. It's going to get scratched, it's going to get dropped, it's going to get left behind a few times. And for 30 bucks, I can't beat that. Not sure what they're going for online, but I think because I got the combination with the Kickstarter deal that I backed for the pencil, I might have saved a couple bucks there. So you won't find it for much more than that, I believe. So here we are. Upon opening the box here, you'll see it is a nice looking box. You got a nice little foam here, real dense. Gives it a little bit of room so it's not getting crushed, because we all know how much things get taken care of and handled in the shipping process. Not to say anything against anybody, it's just things happen and things get destroyed. So it comes with an extra spring, which is the spring that sits on the refill. So that's a nice little feature there. You have to bear with me because I'm sitting behind my camera here. It all fits together well. I'm actually very happy upon opening the box. Feels good. Nice pen. I didn't remember that with the gunmetal, and if maybe I didn't even know from the beginning, but I didn't realize that it came with a black clip. Doesn't bother me. I actually kind of like that because it's a nice contrast. It'll go nicely with the pencil, which I had to get in black, or I didn't have to get, but I got in black as well. It's got the double hex little bolts there at the top. So, I mean, that's actually pretty heavy duty for a pen. You know, you'll see some of the others where they'll have like a slot or something where it kind of slides into, and maybe like a brad or something that kind of holds, or it's kind of clamped to the body, in which, you know, depending on what you're doing, can get ripped off. The nice thing here is that if something happens and this pulls off, I mean, these screws look pretty solid. So if this would happen to pull off, this would be replaceable. Or if in the future I wanted to try a different style or something, I could probably maybe order a different color if I so desired. So upon opening it, I also noticed that, and this may just be from personal preference or just my own thoughts, is I expected it to be a bit heavier. Being as it's 100% aluminum, I did think there was going to be more weight to it. Not a deal breaker, still a great pen. It seems like it has a nice balance to it. Feels great. The little lines here, you know, kind of fit your finger, so you can kind of get a nice grip to it. The clicky action, I mean the body, excuse me, before I get to the clicky action, the body seems pretty solid here. It's pretty nice. But one of the things that, as I'm looking at it here, I notice a few things. So as I'm kind of going around, I can know that there is the difference between just a basic mass-produced pen and probably something that goes through a little more quality control. I think we're saving a few bucks here. Is that a deal breaker for me? I expect this pen to take on some life, just due to the fact that hanging on my pocket, or on my shirt pocket, my security shirt pocket, or even in my pocket in a hurry, or dropping it, it's going to take on some. But I'd like those characteristics to come from my life as opposed to receiving it with a couple chips all the way in there. You know, I mean, you can kind of see those there. So it's already starting off to where maybe those were missed by quality control. You could also notice here around the top, if you look at it real close, you can kind of see that it's not such a clean, smooth edge there, you know? And it's not as if that's really a big deal, but something that you're carrying every day, I'm going to notice that. So we may take them up on their offer to buy for life and see if that's actually replaceable, or see if we're maybe stuck with it. So we'll have to see. Now, looking at the clicky action here. Clicky action is not bad, but it's not a bragging point for me. Some other people might be 100% happy with it and think that that's actually good, but sometimes due to the nature of my writing, periods in between when I'm thinking, you know, you kind of play around with the clicky button. It almost becomes like a pocket toy, similar to a fidget spinner or a fidget cube, which I have both. So this becomes that. So I mean, it's a pretty smooth action, but it kind of, you know, as you press it down, there's a spring inside here, which means that it's not gonna sink down and leave it depressed. So it'll always be up no matter what. So then when you go to press that, you know, I mean, as I click it, it seems almost as if it's improved a little bit. So I don't know if maybe it was just kind of stuck being new, but not bad. You know, like I said, weight's good, the body feels good, it's all smooth. I don't feel any burrs or anything that might get in the way. So I think it's a pretty decent pen. I would recommend, for anybody considering or looking for something, a basic pen that you don't want to have to worry about losing or having stolen, like the Retract, in some of those finishes, you're talking about a $70 or $80 pen. This isn't that. This is a solid aluminum, mass-produced pen. And the way it's designed, some of the parts are kind of replaceable, so, you know, like I said, we may end up with that in the future. So am I happy with it? Yes, I'd say I am. A few little details, like I said, a few of the scratches and little dimples that are on there. Plus, you know, just some of the finishing work on it. It just seems as if they kind of missed the boat a little bit. And the clicky on the pen, it's not bad. But even just to compare, see, this is just more solid and more substantial. It doesn't have the spring to keep the button up, but it has a slightly, I don't know, maybe I'm just more used to it, but it has a slightly different feel to it. Now, when you're comparing the two of these, I mean, it is significantly lighter in the plastic. But then again, put this in the wrong pocket, sit down, this pen becomes an ink stain. So, all in all, I have to say, it's a decent pen. Would I buy it again? More than likely, if I needed to, maybe as a gift. But I don't like the fact that with some of those quality issues, I would hate to give somebody this, whereas it may look like a used pen. So, that's the Grafton. And I thank you for taking a listen. And if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe. And give me a like for the video. Give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it. Have a good day.